Hey guys, this is Rudy for Bester Investor. I'm just looking here at the Occidental third quarter earnings conference call slides. It is November the 10th. It is right now about 10 a.m. and the conference call is coming up in an hour, and we'll see what Vicky and the executive team has to share with us. I did notice just before I started this recording that OXY was kind of holding its own in terms of the price it achieved yesterday, which is about $12 per share. So not too much movement there. That's probably okay. So I'm just going to flip through these quickly and see what's going on here. Here's the usual legal stuff, blah, 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 blah. Pretty picture, third quarter highlights. I touched on this yesterday, 1.24 million barrels of oil equivalent per day, exceeded the guidance. We have $1.4 billion generated in free cash flow for the quarter. That's awesome. And $2.3 billion in divestitures, which exceeded the target that they had set for themselves. $7.9 billion in divestitures since closing the Anadarko acquisition. Warren Buffett once said that you must be careful buying things you can't afford, because then later you will be selling those same things in order to try and pay back your debt. So not always a good thing, but anyway, here we are. And nobody knew at the time of the Anadarko acquisition that the bottom was going to drop out of the oil market because of Mr. Corona. Some Q3 2020 development highlights. Vicky will talk to these. I'm not going to go into any depth on that. There's a fourth quarter activity update, adding 2 new rigs in New Mexico and 2 rigs in Texas, Delaware for seven in total by year end. So adding 4 rigs in total. Permian Resources activity to ramp to support 2021 production. Adjusted EPS, earnings per share for the quarter came in at negative 84 cents. The analysts were expecting 72 cents. Diluted based on GAAP reporting. Cash flow, capital expenditures, nothing extraordinary here. Let's listen to the financial team on the conference call before we go into depth on this one. Some fourth quarter guidance estimates. We see for the fourth quarter, the oil and gas guidance from the different production sites. Total company 1.1 to 1.155 million barrels of oil equivalent per day, so slightly reduced and probably more profitable. Interesting here, the production cost at $6.70 for domestic oil and gas. OxyChem generates a lot of free cash flow, $185 million pre-tax income expected for the fourth quarter. Midstream and marketing has been doing okay, getting rid of all the production that Occidental has generated over the last couple of quarters. Even though demand was down, the midstream and marketing has been very efficient in terms of getting the oil to market. Tax rates, also interesting to note here, international tax rate. Occidental guides 45% for international taxation on international assets. Successful debt management, we've touched on that. We've talked about that quite a bit, so I'm going to skip over that one. Future liquidity is interesting, $2 to $3 billion additional asset divestitures, and obviously organic cash generation, especially if WTI remains in a sort of $40 range or preferably exceeds that. And access to credit markets, we know already that Occidental has a $5 billion facility, which to date is still untouched. Capital budget for 2020, we saw this last quarter, hasn't changed much. Activity updates, just at a quick glance, not a lot of change here either. Debt management, let's see if there's anything new that I can find here. Expected liquidity, they have $1.9 billion unrestricted cash on the balance sheet at the end of the quarter, and there's the $5 billion credit facility I was just talking about a minute ago. Cash flow priorities, maintain the current production and debt reduction, medium term, reinstitute or create a sustainable dividend again, sustainable being the operative term there, because obviously if the dividend is not sustainable, I'd rather not receive it. Create some growth capital or develop some growth capital, longer term repurchase shares, and right at the bottom here, retire the preferred equity, which is our favorite uncle, Warren Buffett. Pathway to 2021. At a glance, this hasn't changed much either. Midstream and marketing guidance reconciliation, I'll pass on that one. Cash flow sensitivities. This is an interesting discussion. We know for every $1 change in the price of Brent or WTI, Occidental is generating or losing approximately $200 million. So it's quite significant. OxyChem annualized cash flow changes $30 million per $1 per ton change in realized caustic soda prices. These are some of the hedges and collars that they've put into position to protect themselves in case there's a significant change in the price of oil. Same with gas. 6-month cumulative oil wells. Okay, nothing unusual here. No real news. The combined integrated portfolio. By now, most of the people who are long Oxy would know what the assets kind of look like, even just at a high level. Obviously, Occidental is very focused on US production, despite the fact that they are a large international oil producer. 9.6 million net total US acres. Onshore overview, third quarter production. We talked about that a little bit. Gulf of Mexico overview, international overview. Producing a carbon barrel of oil. This is a look at Oxy low carbon ventures. It'd be interesting to see what Vicky says about this one. Recently, Occidental invested about $1 billion in Occidental or Oxy low carbon ventures. This is using as the backbone to low carbon ventures carbon engineering, which is the technology from Canada that is also invested in by Bill and Melinda Gates and Chevron, in addition to Occidental. Compensation, I'll skip that one for now. Talk a little bit about Wes operating as an independent company. And that's a wrap. So let's see what happens today on the conference call. As I said, it's coming up in about an hour from now. So let's see what the team has to say, and we'll take it from there. I'll be back later with some more in-depth news and information. Talk to you soon. By the way, if you like my videos, please remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.